Hi, it's Michael, and thanks to URintells Cuisine, I've got the pleasure of reviewing a new entry-level espresso machine. It's the EM5110-US. Now, this is a basic, and like I said, entry-level machine. If you're a Keurig or an espresso person and you just want to move up a step or two to get the ability to make your own espresso at home, be your own home barista, so to speak, this might be a machine you might want to consider. Very reasonably priced, and I've been using it for a while, and it can make a very good espresso. The machine does lack a little bit of quality features though, so let's talk about it. Well, here is what you get out of the box. Here's the portafilter. Now, many of the low-end machines that I see, they end up having plastic inside. I'd like to see an all-metal portafilter, but it does work. They do provide a double basket and a single basket. Now, these are what are called pressurized baskets. So instead of having a whole lot of holes on the bottom, there's just one hole, and it's a double wall kind of a construction here. So what happens is when you put your coffee in here, if it's old coffee or pre-ground coffee, maybe you've got old beans around that you've ground and they're just old. I mean, they're older than a few weeks. They're going to lose a lot of the carbon dioxide in the beans, which is what actually causes the crema. Pressurized basket is going to enhance the crema development of those older or pre-ground beans. Bottom line is, it makes it really easy for someone just getting into an espresso machine to make a decent shot without having to worry about dialing in the proper grind and all that. So I'm not going to harp about those too much. I am going to harp about the plastic tamper though. It's just very cheap and very lightweight. It just barely works, okay? But go get a metal tamper and do yourself a big favor. One other thing that you don't have to get, but it will make your life a little easier, is a frothing pitcher. This is a stainless steel frothing pitcher. Otherwise, you can use just a cup or a measuring cup, and that will work. So let's get into the basics here. This has a nice control panel on it. Gives you a power button. It has the ability to make a cold brew, sort of, they call it espresso cold. But basically what it does is you can put ice cubes in your water reservoir, and then when you first turn on the machine is not actually heating up when you push the power button. You can make an espresso without the heat. So with the cold water and then with the espresso just being made without heat, cold espresso, right? So if you like your cold coffee, you can do it with this machine. Then we've got a espresso, a single shot or a double shot of espresso. There's a long button here, and that's basically just making an espresso but adding more water. Now that's kind of cheating, because just adding more water through espresso that you've already made a shot with is gonna bring out some bad notes. So you just can't keep putting water through the same grounds and expect it to taste great. But that's what they do in this case, entry-level machine, just remember. And then here's your steam button. Now on this side here is a little lever, and that switches between the ability to deliver hot water to your cup, or if you push the steam button, then it'll preheat. It'll take maybe 30 to 45 seconds, and then it'll produce steam. So that's how you're going to froth your milk over there. So that's the machine in a nutshell. All right, let's make our first espresso. I have some freshly ground coffee here, and I'll just put about, roughly 2 scoops. I don't mind filling this right up to the point where it's actually a little bit overfilled, because this is freshly ground coffee with my high-quality burr grinder, and it actually makes the coffee sort of fluffy. So even though it looks like it's overflowing, once we tamp it down a little bit, it'll be just right. You don't want to put too much coffee ever in your filter basket here, otherwise it could mess with the extraction. It could press too firmly on the screen inside of the brew head here, and we don't want that to happen. So I have a nice even tamp here, and now we're going to insert it in the machine. Attach this to the machine like this, and I'm going to get a cup, put it under there. Now when you first press the espresso button, if that's what you want, they're going to start blinking. Now the machine is starting to heat up to temperature. It's going to take maybe 45 seconds. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to immediately make your espresso unless it's the second espresso that you make, then it'll be all heated up. So we'll just wait for this to heat up for a moment. Okay, it's ready. So I'm just going to push the espresso button. Now, normally in my brain, an espresso shot is an ounce. This actually makes a 2-ounce espresso. So there we have it. Now I mentioned that I had old beans. Well, look at this. I still got a nice amount of crema there. So that's pretty good. Now if you wanted a double espresso, you would just press the double espresso button. A nice feature of this machine, and it's quite common with most machines, is you can adjust the volume that this delivers. In order to do that, let's say we want to increase the volume of the espresso. Press and hold it for 3 seconds. It'll start to blink. And then you don't have much time to work here, but put your cup under there, press it again. It's going to start making the espresso. When it reaches the volume that you want, then just stop it by pressing the button again. It's going to remember that setting, and then you've just reset the espresso to the setting that you like. You can do the same thing with the double shot of espresso. So that's a nice feature. As far as the hot water delivery, like I said, if you don't do anything, it's just going to be able to give you hot water. If you want steam, then push the steam button. Once again, it's going to start blinking. Blinking usually means it's getting up to temperature or it's cooling down. So once this stops blinking, then we'll be in the steam mode. Once it stops blinking, we're going to want to purge it. And as soon as it stops blinking, I'll do that. There's going to be some residual water in the wand, and when you're making steam, you don't want water to come out first, you just want steam to come out. Typically, this will take about 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, so there we go. So now when I turn this on, first time, a little bit of water comes out. Now I can stop it, insert the tip under the milk, and then I can turn it on. And then I can make some froth or foam for my coffee. Once the frothing pitcher gets to temperature, it'll be comfortable to hold, and then when it starts to get too hot to hold, that usually means you've reached about the 150, 160 degree mark, and that's when it's time to stop. Or when you've got enough froth developed. It should about double in size and volume. So we're just about there. I'm going to insert it in there. We'll turn it off. Then you immediately want to wipe the wand with a damp rag to get the milk off of there, and you can eject a little more steam to clean out the nozzle. And there we go. So here is my espresso. Here is my milk, my froth. And I don't do latte art, but I do froth. So there we go. It's a nice little machine. I think it's a great entry-level machine. It's got a good construction. This is actually stainless steel. It's not plastic. It does have a warming tray on the top, and it works well. I like the display. It's colorful. It has nice icons for the different drinks. No complaints, really. So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helps you out. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.